My man, give us your hands.
I'm not doing nothing. I'm not doing nothing.
And that right there is the moment when one gunshot goes off during this arrest in Smoketown over a stolen car. Released today, this body camera video released by police showing the arrest happening as a gun fires and one bullet hits two police officers and the man they were arresting. Nobody died, but two Metro officers were hurt by that gunfire. Hello, everybody. It's our top story. I'm Doug Proffitt.
And I'm Connie Leonard. LMPD puts the responsibility on 20-year-old Jeremiah Thompson for that shooting. His lawyer argued, though, that was never the suspect's intention.
WHAS11's Ian Hardwitt reviewed the body camera footage today and the heated exchange that happened also between a lawyer and a local judge.
My man, give us your hands.
You're watching three Metro police officers trying to wrestle Jeremiah Thompson's hands free. Then a gun goes off. We froze the video just before that moment on body camera video provided by LMPD. Two officers were shot alongside Thompson, Officer Laxman Akaria and Brendan Kerner. Both men are out of the hospital and on medical leave.
Put your arms back, baby.
A bystander recorded the exchange, urging Thompson to give up his hands like officers asked. Police came to arrest Thompson, alleging he stole a 2018 Kia. On arrival,
What are we doing in this car?
video shows Thompson without his shoe.
Can you get my shoe though?
A shoe that was ultimately in the floor of the driver's side of that stolen car, alongside wires pulled from the steering column, as shown by this picture LMPD provided.
What evidence do you have that he pulled the trigger?
John Olash, Thompson's lawyer, argued that charges for endangering police should be dropped since the gun going off was unintentional.
Now, maybe he was negligent, maybe he was foolish, maybe he should be a better communicator, but that's not part of the statute.
The arguments came after a heated exchange during the probable cause hearing. Ultimately, Olash was held in contempt of court and carried out in cuffs, but no formal charges were filed against him. LMPD Chief Paul Humphrey stands by the work of his officers.
So however you say it, we can play semantics. The suspect had cooperated, he wouldn't have gotten shot, and the officers wouldn't have gotten shot.
How the gun went off is still part of an active investigation. In Louisville, Ian Hardwitt, WHAS 11, on your side.
And Thompson returns to court in January next year, where a grand jury will decide if his case will move to trial.
We are getting you ready to head into the deep freeze. Folks, take a look right now at some of the morning wind chills. You can see them on your screen. Look at Louisville, a big 6. Gordon, Indiana, a 3. And Jasper, down to 1. Bedford, a 0. It's going to be frigid. So cold tomorrow. And the big question is, are we ready, Connie?
I am not ready. I got to make the trip to school in the morning. I'm not looking forward to that, Ben Pine.
Maybe we'll get a school delay. Who knows?
So hot coffee, hot chocolate, you name it, Ben, in the morning.
That's right. Ready or not, here it comes. Yeah, it is a polar front that's going to move through overnight after midnight. And the big impact from that, of course, is the cold and the winds that are still going to be gusting over 30 miles per hour. So that combination puts our wind chills in the single digits, as we just saw. So 5 a.m. until noon. So most of your morning tomorrow morning is when we have issued this weather impact alert, either to limit your time outside or dress in those very, very warm layers, covering up as much skin as possible. So the wind chills are not bad through this evening. We made it up to the low 50s today, but it's right after midnight when those temperatures start crashing with that cold Canadian air dropping in. Right now, still fairly mild for this time of the year, upper 40s, low 50s, wind gust at 33 miles per hour. You can see that American flag blowing in those winds coming in from the southwest with our Midway University cam, put over our U of L Health Camera Network. All temperatures pretty similar across the area in the upper 40s and lower 50s. This warm up out ahead of that cold front that'll be in here in a matter of hours. So this evening will be dry in the 40s, and then as we approach midnight, little wintry mix. We're talking some sprinkles, maybe a brief light snow shower, little to no impact on the roads. Again, our major impact is the cold winds that are going to be greeting us tomorrow morning out the door, and it'll stay very cold all day. Sub-freezing high temperatures in the 20s, wind chills in the teens for tomorrow afternoon. This is going to be a short-lived cold snap, though. We've got a weekend warm-up on the way coming up in our full forecast.
Ben, thank you. With everybody heading indoors, Kentucky, by the way, is seeing a rise in respiratory illnesses right now at the moment. And the CDC is putting our state at a moderate level of respiratory illness activity. And that's for certain sicknesses. And we're talking like COVID-19, RSV, and the flu. Members of the Louisville Metro Board of Health say the #1 way to protect yourself this coming season is to stay up to date on your vaccines.
National, the wastewater viral activity level for influenza A is currently low, and so is for RSV. Don't forget infections caused by bacteria Mycoplasma pneumoniae, the one that is the culprit for walking pneumonia, most prevalent in many areas of the country, has also affected and afflicted the Commonwealth.
Health experts urging you to schedule all your relevant appointments with your primary care doctor and to stay home if you're sick to prevent your illness from spreading to anybody else.
We will not rest until we identify and apprehend the shooter in this case.
New York City Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch addressing this morning's shooting involving United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. The New York City Police Department says that it happened just this morning near a hotel in Midtown Manhattan.
Right before sunrise there, Connie, and at this time police are calling this a brazen targeted attack on the 50-year-old CEO of United Healthcare. The 6-foot-tall shooter then took off, and he's been seen on many cameras around New York, but no arrests tonight. ABC's Rena Roy details what police know at the moment as they search for this man.
An urgent investigation underway in the heart of Midtown Manhattan, where police say United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson was shot and killed Wednesday morning. New surveillance video shows the moments the violence unfolded. Police now reviewing the footage as the search for the suspect intensifies.
I want to be clear. At this time, every indication is that this was a premeditated, pre-planned, targeted attack.
Investigators say the suspect, wearing all black and a ski mask, waited until the 50-year-old showed up at the Hilton Hotel for an investors conference.
The suspect approached from behind and fired several rounds, striking the victim at least once in the back and at least once in the right calf. Many people passed the suspect, but he appeared to wait for his intended target.
3 shell casings found at the crime scene, along with live rounds from a 9mm gun. At one point, police say the gun appeared to jam, and when the shooter cleared it, he began shooting again. Police add the suspect ran off, then got away on a city bike, pedaling into Central Park. The murder happening not far from tonight's tree lighting at Rockefeller Center. Detectives now working to gather GPS data from that bike. They're also conducting interviews in Thompson's home state of Minnesota.
We're reaching out to law enforcement in Minnesota, and we're also interviewing his co-workers and family members to see if there have been any specific threats against him in the past.
United Healthcare is the health insurance wing of United Health Group, the largest health insurer in the world. The company releasing a statement saying they are deeply saddened and shocked, saying Brian was a highly respected colleague and a friend to all who worked with him. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
At this moment tonight, there's still no word on a motive. Thompson's wife tells ABC News her husband was a loving father, their 2 sons, and that their family is shattered. They're requesting that their privacy be respected during this difficult time. His wife also told NBC News that Thompson had been getting threats. ABC's World News Tonight is on this story at 6:30, right after WHAS 11 News at 6.
A Louisville man will spend nearly 12 years behind bars following a conspiracy to traffic meth. According to multiple federal and state agencies, including LMPD, 31-year-old Dion Brown will spend 11 years and 8 months in federal prison. Court documents say Brown received that sentence Monday after being found guilty of distributing meth. Brown was one of 7 defendants, all of whom received their sentences earlier this year for similar charges. There is no parole in the federal court system.
A former Jefferson County public school teacher and coach who pleaded guilty to more than 30 child sex abuse charges is now trying to withdraw his plea. 52-year-old Christopher Morris pleaded guilty to charges of unlawful transaction with a minor, sexual abuse, and sodomy. He worked at Conway Middle School and he coached volleyball and basketball. Commonwealth's attorney Ebert Hagerly said today that he made a motion to withdraw that plea. He will have a hearing coming up on the 20th of December. Take a look at this. Construction crews hard at work putting the finishing touches on Waterfront Park's westward phase. It's phase 4, as they call it, right into West Louisville. It's our first look at this project since March, and officials tell us that they're on track to finish it by the end of this month. It's a $50 million project sitting right between 10th and 14th Streets, and it'll connect the current Waterfront Park to the transformed 22 acres right into the Portland neighborhood.
Most of the equipment is installed, and the executive director says it's now just about the final details. Jose Alonso and photojournalist Emma Gefter show us the progress.
Construction still in progress, but the results for Waterfront Park's Phase 4 expansion into West Louisville are promising.
So we've got two main themes of Clayport, a river section which really tells the story about how this site is located on the river right at the head of the Falls of the Ohio. These are real objects. These are not things that we have fabricated. This is a real shipping container. That's a real crane cab.
Clayport includes multiple interactive experiences, like ropes that move containers. Half of the park also speaks to the history of industrialization in Louisville.
There's a huge education component to this that, like I said, some of it is obvious with the educational and informational signage.
Waterfront Park's expansion just west of 9th Street is about 95% done, and construction crews will be sliding out of the way and making room for families to enjoy by next spring.
We're excited about being able to bring people to the park and bring the park to people. So we're hoping to be able to partner with Waterfront Park to get the word out as it gets closer to the opening.
Education while having fun is what West Louisville-based nonprofit Neighborhood House is all about. Executive Director Jenny Jean Davidson recently toured the park herself.
So they had all these components that were actually pulled from actual boats that had been on the Ohio River, big propellers, and it has always stopped right there at the Belvedere, basically. And so we're excited to see it come west to expand that kind of access.
Bring our waterfront within a 20-minute walk of over 10,000 residents that live within a 20-minute walk of this site, and it is long overdue.
You know, Jose, I can't help but go back to the former Metro Councilwoman, Sherry Bryant Hamilton, who used her own discretionary money in her office to get this project started because the city had no money. She drew up the first plans. And now you're bringing in things like the recycled trucks to show the riverboats.
Exactly. Construction equipment that speaks to that industrialization in Louisville, but also the river as well. I mean, it's right there. You get a really clear view of downtown and the river, all while standing on top of a boat. Isn't that crazy?
It's very cool. What kid wouldn't want to play there? We saw you were playing there, so it's pretty cool.
I was. It was a fun and invigorating situation and an atmosphere that I'm not going to forget. I already told the executive director, Deborah, I might have to fight a kid to get up there. I don't know, but
the slide you went down is made of what?
That's the back of a dump truck. So again, so many different items turned into playground equipment.
That's awesome.
Jose, breaking it in for us tonight. Thank you.
Jose.
That was a great story.